Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 4 of the Omniverse Chronicles Unsinkable. Oh my gosh, we're almost at the end. We are down a Susan tonight, but we are carrying on Sans Elga. I'm sure nothing bad will happen to us without Big
That's
Strong
that's
Lady.
such a hard jinx.
In the
Oh
fourth
my
episode
god.
of 5, nothing bad'll happen.
Well, before anything bad happens, very quickly go around everybody, introduce yourselves, and let people know where they can find you and follow you and find out shit about you.
Hi, everybody. I am your keeper today. My name is Amanda. My pronouns are she, her. You can usually find me on the internet under I Am a T-Rex. You can find my stuff at IamATrex.com. I like to hype games. I am the editor of a anthology zine called Sprigs and Kindling, which is a Carve from Brindlewood community collection of creative works. I also freelance write for The Gauntlet, and I'm really excited to be here today.
Hi, Percy. Former pro wrestler, current professional wrestling commentator for Naptown All Pro. Pronouns are he, him. I'm your doctor, and I know you've not been taking care of yourself, and I'm very disappointed because you deserve it. But you can basically find me not giving doctor advice anywhere at Big Purse Universe. I too am excited to be here, and we are down a player, so obviously nothing bad can happen to us, right?
Oh wow, so we're gonna
Right?
double down on this.
I'm just saying that nothing can possibly happen,
Do you think if
right?
you say it twice, it negates it? I don't
Yes.
think that's how it works.
Yes.
Hmm.
Hi, gang. My name's Wes Franks, and my pronouns are they, them. I am a tabletop game designer, writer. I've done actual play. If there's a thing, I've done it all, if it's in the industry. You can check out all the stuff that I'm doing at carrion-comfort.com. Funny thing, that's my website, but that's also my Blue Sky handle, so it's like multi-purpose.
Oh my
So it's like
gosh.
super convenient to follow me. So
How
like
easy.
it's kind of like the effort has been put there, so you should always just reward it anyways. There is we'll get into the Praise King stuff later. Anyways, I'm playing your stowaway, and I also wrote the Nightmare Factory known as the Between Unsinkable. So I hope I can develop way more fears of water. Thalassophobia is something that I'm really hoping to awake in all of you watching.
Wes is ruining cruises for me for the rest of my life. Hi everyone, my
You
name
don't
is
have to play D&D on the sea. Sorry.
Yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Kim Dalton, pronouns she, her, a frequent collaborator, cast member with the Crit Show. I'm also doing my own thing. I encourage you, if you are interested in the Between or Car from Brindlewood, to check out my podcast, Kitten Marlowe. The first story that we are doing in Kitten Marlowe is Shadows in the Smoke, which is a campaign of the Between. The next episode comes out in just a few short hours, and it's our very first night phase. So if you have not yet listened to Kitten Marlowe, this is a good day to start because this is a nice picture of like the full rhythm of the game, and we get up to some spooky shit. So I hope people listen, and I hope people enjoy it. Cool. All right, Amanda, take us away.
We love a night phase around here in
We
the
us
Between
locked
Unsinkable land.
in eternal night.
We're on night phase number 4. It's been 16 hours. How? How
Don't worry about
physically?
it.
The sun won't
Time.
rise.
Every
Oops.
time we see the sun rise, we just watch Amanda grab it and pull it back down. It's like, I'm not done with them yet.
I am your god, and you must worship me. Speaking of being your god, I actually command Wes to. Well, I don't command. That I feel bad for even saying it like that. That seems so bossy. Wes, you owe us a mask. Are you ready to give it to us?
Oh, good lordy shit. I thought I snuck on by without having that happen. No, yeah, I'm ready for that.
I know you are.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Okay.
For everyone listening, if you're new, what happens with these masks? These masks are ways of talking about your backstory. You don't talk about your backstory otherwise in this game. You can talk about your backstory. You talk about how the world is affecting you in the current situation, and they get marked when you want to bump your roll up at a success level, which Wes has done. So now we get to hear a little sneak peek into Wes's backstory. And there, I stalled a little bit to give you some moments to get yourself together there, Wes.
Yeah, no, this is great. I just had to collect all of my dates and everything. Um, so, as our stowaway has made their way forward into this chef's office, there has been a drop of a paper. It's a letter or a diary or maybe a journal. But it states November 15th, 1864. That was the day that I shot out of my mama screaming and a crying, hooting and a hollering. That was the first time I pissed her off. Now, it might have been mighty convenient that General William Tecumseh Sherman was already beginning his march to the sea, and he had ravaged through the likes of Atlanta, to which where we were housed outside of. My mom didn't have much to complain about, though. It's not like he knocked down her house. Didn't even pay no mind. Not important. My folks never been important. Poor, filthy, dirty, nothing special about us. That's exactly how I got into this predicament. You see, I love my family, but there was about 10 of us living in a 2-bedroom shack. My mama, my daddy, my grandpa, my grandma, and a bunch of us kids. Me, being the youngest, I got into a whole heaps of trouble all the time. If I was stealing, fighting, carousing, smoking cigarettes, drinking, getting into all kinds of tomfoolery. One time, I stole a whole outfit from an artillery from the Union Army. I was 4 years old. They were just housed there overlooking things. My mama was wondering, what in goddamn would pursue you to be bringing all these bullets and gunpowder up in my house like this? And I said, well, if we can't buy food, we might as well hunt it. My pop didn't contribute much to the family. He was a bit of a drunk and a layabout. My mom worked hard all the time. Well, right when I was about 16 years old, working as hard as I could out in the fields, doing a little bit of sharecropping. You see, there were sharecroppers, and I was hoping that they would share their crops with us so I could go ahead and help pay off some of the bills that we were accumulating. The thing is, farmers don't mind too much when you take a little bit of a bad crop from them every once in a while. But you see, I found out where this one fella, he was hiding all the good stuff. Bountiful cotton. Beautiful, pillowy like clouds. And so I gathered whole heaps of it. I saw the people with the bags, they'd just drag them all along the dirt aisles and they'd just stuff them, fill with cotton, so I did the same thing. I've always been strong. I got about 6 bags, dragging them all the way. It took me all goddamn day. Police was already there waiting for me. I had 6 bales of cotton, nothing much else to show for it. And my mom was caterwauling, while 4 of them youngins were just hooting and hollering around her. She looked so goddamn sad. Fragile. So I wrote her a note. Told her exactly where those 6 bales of cotton were going to be, and how I was going to be getting on out of their hair. Been causing too much trouble for them, and I figured some time on the road would be good for me. It's good at stealing, taking things from people without them even knowing. Not doing too much harm when you're taking things from people. I just hope my mom got the note. I don't know how to write, and I'm not too good at reading, but I think she got the picture.
Outstanding.
Bravo.
Outstanding. Oh, Wes, masks are always just chef's kiss. So here we are in the dusk phase. Now, the dusk phase is a shorter phase. It's not like the day phase or the night phase, which we've experienced already. We experience the night phase a lot. In the dusk phase, we have a little moment to get acquainted with the RMS Chronos. And today, we're going to talk about the lifeboats.
Why are we starting there, Amanda?
You mean
Don't
the
worry
ones
about
we
it.
gave away to the fish people?
Only one
Oh,
was
okay.
given
Oh.
away. Don't
And there's
worry
enough
about it.
for everyone, right? Plentiful.
Pretty sure we established that there were not, but also we'll see what I don't know what's gonna happen. It depends on what you guys do. But the lifeboats, they're located on the port and starboard sides of the ship. They are easily accessible to crew and passengers. Not only are they used in the event of an emergency, but they are a place for lovers to make a secret rendezvous.
Oh,
What items do we see that have been left behind post passion? This is to paint the scene for everyone.
I'm definitely gonna say there are multiple mismatched shoes. Just like, and it's way too many. Like there is 3 mismatched shoes, which is more concerning about the fact that there are 3 separate people only with one shoe on this boat.
There is a single lady's silk glove and a small bottle of liquor.
There's
Is
a
it full?
heavily, yeah, there's a heavily petted fox fur 3-tier stole that has tails on it.
That's where I left mine.
I was hoping Wes was gonna be like, "There's a gun."
A gun.
It's like, whoa!
Nothing brings my baby and me closer.
I'm going through my notes that I've made about the dusk phase, and I just want to double check with Wes. There's no other thing that's special for the dusk phase except for maybe some character moves and stuff. Not
Yeah,
an
just
Unsinkable,
checking
right?
if there's any character moves, and then checking
Okay.
and seeing if we want to answer a question or some shit like that. That's about it. All the special stuff. You nailed the special stuff.
Just wanted to make sure, everyone.
Yeah.
This is my first time running this game, so
And you're
I'm very
doing
happy.
great.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. So the dusk phase. Do we have any special moves in the dusk phase? Does anybody have anything they specifically need to do?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I
All right,
skimmed everything and I couldn't find a particular dusk phase move. So we're gonna introduce the night phase. Welcome back to the night phase,
Oh
everyone.
shit, we're here again.
As
Anybody
you
else?
know,
Anyone else noticing that moon has not moved in like 16 hours?
wasn't it weird that the sun was just up and it got eclipsed and now it's night again? Isn't that strange?
Ah.
Fucking hate the water.
So yeah, don't worry about it. It's gonna be fine. We are back here in the night phase, which of course means that we are going to have another unseen. The unseen that we're going to do today is, if you look on the unseen tab on the character keeper, you can see the USS Thresher 1963. I'm just going to read out the initial prompt and I will assign the prompts. On April 10th, 1963, the USS Thresher left Kittery, Maine to meet with the rescue ship Skylark 190 off the coast of the Cape Cod. I said the Cape Cod as if I know what Cape Cod is. Okay. To meet with the rescue ship Skylark 190 off the coast of Cape Cod to run through routine deep depth drills. What occurred in the next 90 minutes constitutes the final moments of the crew. The first prompt will be for Kim. The second prompt will be for Percy. The third prompt will be for Wes. And the fourth prompt is for everyone. I will give you a few moments, of course, to look at your prompts and think about what you want to do. I haven't done that every time, but this time I'm going to do it because I'm feeling nice today. And since we are entering into the night phase, I should have done this in the dusk phase, but I'd like to know what everybody wants to try and get done tonight. What's on your mind? As a reminder, we have Dr. Pierce and Viscountess Burgundy. You are in the ballroom over on the Hyperion, and I believe Carter is in the chef's office right now. Because we're moving phases, if you want to fictionally position yourself somewhere else, I'm up for that.
Oh no, I have a perfect move for that, so don't worry at all. Yeah.
Okay.
We can find out what happened
Do
to
I
Chef
look worried?
Argus later. Yeah, you know, no, chill as a cucumber, girl. What's up?
Real fear. I was gonna say, are we gonna continue? Are we gonna continue our spooky tryst, or are we?
I mean,
I think
we're something spooky was happening in the ballroom, right? Like a solar eclipse.
The solar eclipse have turned everything into the night phase.
Oh, fantastic!
It has become night.
Fantastic! Great.
This is an excellent first date, by the way. You're doing
nothing
10 out of 10.
bonds people faster than shared trauma, I find.
I don't know. A cup of coffee does it for me. No, you know, what do I know?
Nice dinner, some flowers, maybe,
Yeah,
chocolates.
you know, yeah. Genuine shared interest, you know, like. Oh.
So as a reminder, what's happening right now is we have two threats still active. We have the haunting of the RMS Hyperion, where there is a spooky ship that is appeared off the side of the Kronos. There is one question, and the question is, what happened on board the RMS Hyperion? That has a complexity of 6, and we have 5 clues. 5 clues right now, so getting pretty close there. We also have the problem with the doppelgangers, the double lives of the RMS Kronos. Now, the doppelganger situation, I have reduced the complexity for some of this because we are on just a short time frame. How do we determine who is real and who is fake is complexity 2. And once you figure that out, you can answer the question, where are the doppelgangers coming from, which is complexity 4. Now, both of these questions have to be answered in order to resolve this threat. We have 2 clues for the doppelganger situation.
You mentioned that there was a magician on board, correct?
Did I mention that? That
Yes.
sounds like something I would have said. Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. Modoc the Magnificent, the ship's spotlight entertainer in the Neptune Theater. Okay. I would like to go. I have a move here because I'm stuck. I'm holed up. We can just say fictional positioning wise. I held up inside the chef's office, and then I hit him over the head with one of those French cookbooks that they're always yelling about. And then I have stuffed pantyhose in his mouth and tied him to his chair in his office, maybe to help out his line cooks a little bit.
May I ask where you got the pantyhose?
I was just gonna say,
Don't worry
nobody
about that.
ask. You beat me by 1 second.
I think it's impolite to ask a lady where she got her hose from. All right, okay.
All right,
So,
fair enough. No
know,
questions
I know.
asked. I'll let you. That's dusk phase problem. That's over. That's
Exactly. That's done for. Yeah.
I like the idea
Move
that
on.
the maestro who you borrowed the suit from just happened to have
Yeah.
some stockings
In his
pocket. Very, very cheeky of the
Okay.
maestro. It was his birthday.
I did literally just take the Federico Fellini insert character from 8.5, picked him up, and then just dropped him in that mystery because I was just like, yeah, just give me this Italian man that wears sunglasses and smokes all the time. It's very effective. He would absolutely have pantyhose in his pocket.
Well, so you're going to go in and see about Modoc the Magnificent, who is the magician on board. Viscountess Burgundy, Dr. Pierce, what are you thinking about doing? You can separate, but at this point you seem to be joined at the hip, so to speak.
More than the hip, but
yeah, I'm joined
that's-
in more. It's,
yeah.
We don't. Yeah, we know.
Oh, where are my
Our
heart
souls,
glasses?
our hearts.
Yes, that
I
exactly.
need these to do the thing. So I can do the thing.
Oh. I mean, like, I feel like we're so close on the Chronos. But I also, like,
Um,
I'd like to see Carter at some point.
Yeah.
I'll get over there. Don't you worry. I'll get over there. I just gotta do a little thing. Just
Okay,
a little
honey.
thing. It's okay. It's
Okay,
all
cool.
good.
What is the
I'll be there
situation
soon.
with the characters and their conditions? Oh, you're all not doing bad. For the record, Elga, who is not here right now, has one condition. Carter, you have 2. You have Kiss of the Siren and Chicken Master. Viscountess Burgundy, you have Disarmed. And Dr. Pierce, you have Elated. So, just a little reminder. This is so romantic.
I know.
I didn't expect so much romance going on.
With me at the table, you didn't expect romance to happen.
I know. That was a straight up lie. I just lied to you all. Just for anybody who is interested, I do because this is such a short form game. I'm not limiting. I decided to not limit. You can answer a question whenever. You
Okay.
can solve a mystery whenever. But when you are trying to resolve a threat, that is automatically going to be like night phase ish, no
Okay.
matter what phase we're in.
Yeah.
Just because it's extra dangerous.
Then I think probably trying to figure out the Hyperion.
Yeah.
Still.
Because like we can either take a shot now because I have some ideas. We're just at -1 is the problem.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
bad.
and so
No, -1's not bad.
I've been rolling
Especially when
sixes.
you got masks though.
Yeah, we have
You were
masks.
rolling
We can bump
sixes
it up.
last week. All right. You gotta put some more faith into it. It's a new day. Okay.
It's a new day. I don't
It's
think the dice
technically a
gods
night.
care about time. Yeah, it's a new
It is
night.
technically nice.
It's actually the same night. There was just one really bright star out, and we thought we're like, oh my god, it's day, and then the star like died instantly, and we're like, that's where we are. Got it. I was gonna say
So
if we
you
wanted
guys
to
are gonna try
convert,
and figure out what's going on the. Did you want to try and answer a question, or did you want to try and gather more clues on the Hyperion?
I kind of want to try it.
Let's
And
try
that's
it.
entirely up to
right.
you. Yeah.
Let's do it because then we could resolve it maybe in the night phase.
Yeah. All right, folks. In that case, we're gonna. I know it's really early, but we're gonna take a 5-minute break
Oh my
so
God.
that everyone can read the clues, try and figure out what they want to do for answering this question. Again, the question is. What is the question, Amanda? That's a great question to myself. What happened on board the RMS Hyperion? And it is a complexity 6, so if you use all of these clues, you will roll it at a -1, but you have lots of masks, so I'm not terribly worried about your fate. You also will have the 5-minute break is so that you have some time to look at your night phase unseen prompts and think of what you want to say for that. So everybody, we will be back in 5 minutes, and we will also get rid of that spammer in chat. So thank you all for your patience.
All right, everyone. See you all soon. And we're back. Hello, everybody. You all missed my my little baby kitten who made an appearance during the break, but
Okay, if you're in the Crit Show Discord, you need to go look at the pets channel. You have to see this kitten.
little
This kitten
Dante,
is. Oh, I was like tearing up looking at this cat.
he's
Oh,
very
baby.
baby. All right, but now
Whew.
stop
All
talking
right.
about cute stuff. Back to the macabre.
Never, never. You'll take this cute stuff from my fucking cold dead fingers. Okay. Well,
Yeah, that's the macabre part. You're giving us exactly what we want.
Yeah, best of both worlds here. But please.
All right,
So,
so
back to the RMS Hyperion. I'm going to read out the clues that we have so far. So far, we have the rope between the Hyperion and Kronos have been severed. Tyson, that's the little boy, he was told to hide by his father. There was a leather bag with dynamite fuses. There was vegetation in the kitchen that appeared older than 3 months. There was fruits and vegetables and such. And the captain's log had random pages ripped out of it. Does anyone have a theory they want to posit for what happened here?
Percy, you said that you had something cooking, maybe.
Unfortunately, yeah. And so I answer with each of the clues is what I have to add logic to,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
try to
you can
explain
recon-
them and see how they
Either
answer the
yeah,
question.
either explain how it confirms your theory or explain it away that like it was a
Okay.
red herring and it's actually
How it
was.
doesn't work.
Yeah.
Okay. And so even if I red herring it, that still does
It
count
counts.
towards
Still counts,
the
yeah.
question. Okay, cool. Fantastic. So do I say my full theory first, or do I just explain the clues?
Whatever order you
Lay
want
it
to do
on.
it in.
I love
let's go
it
full.
when people lay a theory on me so I can go ahead and pick it apart because it feels like a subreddit, but the wholesome kind, not the toxic kind, where
Yeah.
we're just like, yeah.
So what do you think happened?
My
what do you think
theory is that members of this crew, or rather an individual, had begun to eat other members on this ship, and that is the reason Tyson's father told him to hide. And I am going to take Tyson's father and make him the hero of this story. And his father is the one who severed the rope between the Hyperion and the Chronos to make sure that there would be no other victims upon that would suffer the same fate of being eaten. The vegetation, obviously, they decided that vegetation wasn't going to work any longer.
Or it had
3
all
months too
rotted,
long.
and so they were starving and they ate each other.
That as well. I was going to say it was either a choice, but I do love the idea of everything, that the food source was out. And so they had to make it work.
Another cat.
And with that, I believe that the missing pages of the captain's log is whoever started this is trying to hide when this started. Because I think the captain was in on it. So it could be the captain themselves or whoever was loyal to the captain ripped these pages out. And that was the reason also they tied the rope, because their idea was like, oh, we have a new ship that we can get onto instead. And then the leather bag of dynamite was there to destroy all other evidence and potentially anybody else hiding on there that could be a witness, i.e., our little child Tyson.
And I'll remind you, you've met the captain. Captain Welch has appeared on the RMS Hyperion.
And did not
Ooh.
seem perturbed by all the happenings that was going on that ship, because there's nobody there. And that's spooky. You should react if you're the captain and there's no people there. So I'm just saying, I think the captain's fucking eating people. That's it.
Does anyone have anything further to add to this theory, or anything that they think is missing from it?
See, this is what I love about this game, because I didn't really have like a concrete theory about this, but I would have never in a million years jumped to everyone on the ship ate each other. But I love it.
Have you seen the movie Sunshine? It's
No.
the Danny Boyle movie Sunshine, written by Alex Garland. So it's apparently it's the world's in like a climate crisis where like it's gonna freeze over because of just like how bad we are at managing living on a planet. Sounds like fiction to me. But there's a plan that they concoct where they get this crew of astronauts. It's a multinational crew of astronauts to take a shuttle and launch a nuclear device into the sun to kickstart it, to kind of like explode it, to regenerate it, because they've determined that if they use enough like enough of this like nuclear material, it can restart the sun and make it brighter, so that like and like just like kick it up a notch, restart it a little bit, and so it can like make it warmer again, and so they can fight this climate crisis. And things go bad, but eventually they reach another ship, another vessel that was
Spoilers.
supposed to get there. Spoilers. They reach another vessel that was supposed to get there, and it's like, there's nobody on it. It's completely empty, except for one guy that has no skin. It's been burned off because he's been worshiping the sun, and everything like that. So what if that's something like similar with the captain? Like, yes, cannibalism, but like, what if like the eating of people? What if it's something from like Losing Her Mind at Sea or something like that? That kind of whole like, that's why there's like no left. You're not seeing any leftovers. There's no like bones or anything like that. Maybe there's a whole process like a ritual like that.
I will say, the dining room, all the tables were set. It was set up as though
there was a party. There was about to be like an event happening.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, the captain said, "Would you join me for dinner tonight?" And they joined him, all right.
I like that theory that the captain was like worshiping something, like had like lost their mind long before this ship set sail, and like purposefully did not stock any food on the ship. Like this was not an accident. This was them like stacking the deck.
And
I love it.
The vegetation growing and everything like that, and that like that appears older than 3 months and everything like that, that can be kind of also explained away as like we've been experiencing weird shit on our ship and everything like that. Maybe a weird shit that the ship experienced was like a temporal like time thing where it just expedite like the ship itself, the vessel like grew faster, but everybody on it didn't, or something like that. It's just like one of those things where it's like a side effect. It has nothing to do with like what happened on board the Hyperion. It's just a thing that happened as it was drifting in the sea with just the captain on it. It's just, oh yeah, and it also hit a little time bump. Like, cool, because just
as a treat, a time bump.
A treat.
Yeah. All right. I dig this. We've got cannibals. We've got weird cults type things. Is it a cult if it's one person? It's a cult if it's one
Yeah.
person. I've
Yeah,
decided.
absolutely.
I mean, there's
that's,
one person
that's how cults
now.
start.
Yeah.
It's post cult. It's post cult.
Post cult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the cults work, yeah.
Whew. That's dark. I
Damn.
do like that that Tyson's father was heroic in that. I think that's very nice. It's a really nice touch. Who wants to roll it? I'm kind of thinking Percy should.
Percy.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
All right.
Come
So
on, babe.
you are rolling
got this.
2d6 and you take a -1 to it.
Huh. That's a 7.
That is good enough.
Yeah, because that's an 8. It's an 8 -1. That's a 7.
You did it.
Well
You
done,
did
Percy.
it. You are correct. This is what happened on board the RMS Hyperion. And now you can resolve the threat by determining what made the Hyperion a ghost ship and helping the lost move on to the afterlife.
Would we
These
want
victims.
to mark the Mask of the Grave to bump it up to a 10 plus so it's not as complicated?
I mean, I love a little complication in my life.
Okay,
But it's
You have the option of marking your masks to get a little
Yeah.
more backstory in. We only have the 2 sessions left. Or you can get a complication and have some trouble with resolving this. It's a tough choice, I know, but you are able to make that decision.
I'll go with the group.
I was gonna
I love
say,
groupthink.
listen, the mask at the grave is that's a pretty good mask too.
And you
But
won't be
it's-
able to use it otherwise.
yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. Is this essentially closes out on this? Correct.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
so
you could use it this night phase to bump up something in the moment, or we can use it right now to make this following night phase a little easier.
I say we solve this. I call for the mask of the grave too. Then.
Okay.
Okay.
Spooky.
All right. Just as a reminder, in case I never said it, I don't remember if I read this one out, but the Mask of the Grave is the threat mask for this threat. And the prompt is each Ballast class narrates a time when they lost a loved one close to them and what steps they took to move on with their grief. I'll let you all think about what you want to do for that. And as we move into the night phase, we are going to start with our first unseen. At 7:47 a.m., the Thresher attempts the initial dive test for the day. As the lumbering Leviathan sinks to the rudimentary depths, Navigation Officer Ripley notices strange readings from outside the submarine. What worrisome things are displayed before him before they suddenly vanish, Kim?
So Ripley is keeping an eye on the radar as this submarine is sinking through the ocean, and it is initially rudimentary things, some small sea creatures, things like that, until this very large shape appears on the radar. This large blip, and it starts creeping closer and closer to the ship, and then it disappears. And a few moments pass, and it's replaced by an even larger reading coming from the ocean. And that draws closer, and it disappears once again, and is replaced by something even larger. And at this point, Ripley can feel something squeezing the outside of the USS Thresher before it disappears, both from the Thresher itself and from the radar.
Dang. Creepy. Creepy. Okay. We're gonna start actually with Carter here in the night phase. Carter, you were looking for the magician. What is your plan? Let's set the scene for us. Give me what your plan is.
So Carter utilizes the ventilation system that's in the chef's office to go ahead and climb on out of there, lock the door from the inside. So if anybody tries to open the door and anything like that, they can't get into it unless they have to beat down the door. And so they might just think that the chef's napping in there. They might not care because he's an asshole. Who knows? Carter doesn't care. Carter doesn't exist to these people anymore because Carter's left behind the tuxedo and everything, and has stolen some of Chef Vargas's like spare clothes. So he's like wearing like just like some spare like black chef like chef jacket and pants, and has taken the chef's shoes because thank God we found somebody that matches Carter's shoe size, and is starting to shimmy on through the ventilation system, and Carter's intention is to, if there's doubles on board this ship, and now it's Carter's job to be a ballast class. I don't know what the fuck that is, but I was told by Elga that I'm a part of that group now, and I have to help out. And well, you listen to Elga, and so a big thing about that is I'm just gonna help out. And so there's a magician on board, and that doubles sound pretty magic to me. I don't know about y'all. I don't know. Y'all are on another ship and everything. That's cool. It's a double of a ship, so you know what? Maybe y'all are smarter than I am. I'm here on a lower level, so that's where it's at. And I'm just gonna observe. What I'm doing is I'm gonna try to sneak into this theater. If I see a magician, I want to see if there's anything sneaky. I'm gonna if I get noticed, I'm fucked. But if not, he's a magician. So what is he gonna do? He's gonna say, "Oh, I saw somebody," and people aren't gonna believe him. He's a magician. So it's foolproof plan.
Yeah, there's nothing that's going to go wrong here in the night phase. So when you look into the theater, you see a man. He is tall and he is slim. He is wearing a well-fitting tuxedo. He has a perfectly curled and waxed mustache. He you know this is Modoc the magician. He has a daily performance on the ship. You have seen him around because you're sneaky like that. He Obviously, Modoc is not his real name. That's a silly name. But a magician never reveals his secrets, so you don't actually know his name. He is pacing on the stage, muttering to himself, and occasionally pulling random things out of his sleeve, a pigeon, a length of handkerchiefs, um, bit of flowers. It's like he's talking to himself, he's calming himself, and his way of stimming is to pull things out of his sleeves. He doesn't seem to be doing anything terribly suspicious, but he seems very agitated.
Well, I'm already seeing a bit of witchcraft, so might as well find it to the root of the source. If he's distracted and he's pacing on the stage and everything and he's going through all this stuff, I'm going to utilize that time to go ahead and sneak backstage. I'm going to check around. A magician's got a trunk, right? Maybe something like that. Maybe there's like secrets and stuff like that. He's probably got a fucking mirror that's making copies of people. Carter doesn't read, but Carter has seen the Nickelodeon, the moving pictures and stuff like that, and has like, is mind ablaze with imagination. Has heard stories.
You know what, this is actually going to be, normally this would be something like an investigation type move, but in this case it's going to be a night move, because you're sneaking through a magician's secrets, like his magician's trunk. That is dangerous stuff, because you, as far as you know, this guy might be actually magic. And in fact, you're suspecting that because you were looking for him because there's magic stuff going on. So I would like you to, in order to go through his stuff, I would like you to do a night move with, I think in this case it would have to be composure, because you're trying to sneak in and raid this without him even knowing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Composure.
give me
Okay, I'll
a
take
roll.
that. Yeah, all right. And I'm gonna go ahead.
Do you have anything in your personal, or not your personal quarters, your footlocker?
Yeah, I'm going to use my candle here. and I'm essentially going to set it in a place off to the side that if he starts moving, the flame might flicker a little bit because there's like motion, there's movement coming to give me a heads up that I need to move on out of there.
Good use. Yeah, absolutely. Please do this with advantage. Actually, you know what? Unfortunately, you are the chicken master.
God damn it.
And I think there is an inopportune moment where somebody comes running through clucking like a chicken,
Oh,
which might catch the attention of the magician.
Incredible.
goddamn doppelgangers.
So roll, but because you were at disadvantage, you use advantage,
Yeah,
straight roll. Yeah.
straight roll. Okay, I just threw that. Okay. All right, that's not bad. Look at that. Look on. That's a 6 plus 1. That's a 7 plus 2. That's a 9, right? That's
That's a
respectable.
9. That's respectable.
Okay.
Speaking of respectable, we do have a question in chat. Are you still in your underwear?
Carter? Now? No. Oh, that went in the ocean. That's soaked. That's gone.
Okay.
I am. Yeah. I'm commanding.
Oh, sorry. They meant the chicken man. I got a little.
Oh, the
distracted.
Yeah,
chicken man.
yeah, 'cause
Yeah,
he stole his
then he-
clothes.
I think this
Oh,
is
yeah.
a different chicken.
What?
This is not your original chicken man. This is a different person.
What? It's
Don't
spreading.
worry about it.
Are you cheating? You're cheating on your original chicken? How dare you?
You're starting a movement.
Please
So
don't.
over on the RMS Hyperion, we have the two of you. Are you still in the ballroom? Or have you decided to look around the ship a little bit more? Now that you know what's going on, it is culty cannibals.
I was gonna say this was the place that we saw the people dancing on the walls, right? The shadows.
Yeah.
I kind of would personally think we would stay here once we've
Fair
kind of
enough.
put it together, and now it's like, those might be the people, and they are bound to this ship. It's kind of my thought.
I mean,
So-
I suppose I can't say that I'm very experienced in this type of situation, although who would be, I suppose. But is it possible that the captain still being alive is what's keeping all these spirits on the ship?
You thinking this is some of that eye for an eye stuff then?
It's possible.
I think at this moment, the door creaks open. It's not the main door, it's sort of a back door, or like the servant door. And in sort of shuffling, crouched, almost hunched as if they're carrying something heavy, comes a shadowy figure. It looks slightly translucent, as if it's not really here. But you see a short and squat form. It's hunching over a bucket, holding a pile of coal as it slides through the ballroom, and you can see a shadowy trail that it leaves behind it. You can also see that he's got rippling muscles beneath his skin. It's like coiled rope under a tarp. And he is smiling a spotty smile and singing a lullaby to himself in Tagalog, Filipino. I never mind the work. Us stokers are a comfortable group. And somehow you can understand the words. We're like a family. We look out for each other and make sure the work is pleasant. I just can't wait till we... And then he stops suddenly and turns and stares at you directly into your eyes, Dr. Pierce. Oh, hello there, he says.
Afternoon. Or evening, I guess. Time's weird around here nowadays.
I don't believe time exists anymore. The captain's made sure of that. What are you doing here?
He kind of looks over to Charlie and is like, I've been asking myself the same question for quite a few hours, but we're trying to make things right around here so we can get on with our voyage.
We've been stuck, he says. We've been stuck for quite some time.
I can see
Doesn't
that.
matter. Oh, you're here too.
Shit.
I don't believe I'm supposed to talk to someone like you. You seem quite fancy.
I assure you, darling, it's all theater.
I've never been to the theater.
Really? With a beautiful voice like yours, you could have fooled me.
Huh.
I'm quite good friends with the stoker on our ship.
Oh, us stokers stick together, you understand.
I heard.
Oh, hello. Strange to see you here. What are you doing here? He says.
Hmm.
I'm not quite sure we're getting much from this fella.
Yeah, might be stuck on repeat. Hey, you seen the captain around here? We have business to discuss.
The captain. The last I saw the captain was in the turbine room. She was hungry. I don't remember the last time I was hungry.
That might be for the best. Look, I don't mean to be rude, but we do need to be moving along. Thanks for the lovely song, but we should really be on with our business. And he's gonna kind of like, he's just like gonna gently gesture for Charlie to like, you should get out of here.
Yeah, I take
Wait,
his arm.
wait, one moment. And suddenly this shadowed creature, this shadowed being is directly in front of your face, Charlie. Like almost nose to nose. Take this. You might need it. And he hands you a lump of coal. Just a strange lump of coal out of nowhere. And you can add that to your footlocker.
Thank you. Matches my diamonds.
And you blink and he's gone. Let's go to the next unseen prompt. Percy, it's near 8 a.m., and the Thresher slows to a crawl and levels off at 500 feet below the surface for inspection. Despite no leaks in the hull, what does Ensign Horace find strewn about the grating of the torpedo hold that clearly wasn't on board before?
I think around the grating and even stranger still on very particular parts of the ship there are barnacles. Barnacles the size of a man's fist. And they're in a strange swirling pattern, almost like a corkscrew. No, like a target. And they're surrounding very vital areas, places where the ship's crew would be, near the engine room, and then a few other sparklings as well. And there's not that many, but there's too many to be a coincidence.
Outstanding. And as a reminder, one thing you are trying to do during the night phase is to get an echo in the night, which is to reference something that happens in the unseen in your role play during the night phase, or reference something in the unseen that is happening in the night phase. Back over on the Chronos. Carter, as you are walking towards the magician's trunk, you find that it is unlocked. You can just click it open. And as you peer inside, I want the clue that you find to be established by chat. Chat, throw us some clues, something that Carter finds inside the magician's trunk that would be related maybe or something like that to the doppelganger threat. And then Wes will choose from one of those clues. So give us your craziest ideas. It'll be fun.
Pick me a wiener.
Excuse me?
Woo.
Pick me a winner.
Ooh, oh my.
Oh, sorry, you're speaking French. I apologize.
Hold on.
At the same moment, though, as you flick open, you will get the clue no matter what. We're just gonna give chat a little bit of time. You hear a voice behind you. And what exactly are you looking for, young man? And you turn and see D.I. Pettigrew. I know that I have tasked you with helping with this situation, but that does not mean you get to poke around in people's personal belongings.
Hey, fella. Look, you mind keeping your voice down? Because what I'm doing and you're doing is for like the greater good, okay? And you have your way of going about things, and I got my way of go about things, okay? I don't, I don't go into your stateroom and tell you how to put your underwear on, you know?
That is a very suspicious thing to say, he says. And you've noticed that he hasn't blinked.
Well,
Perhaps
you seem to...
you should come with me. I believe I should take you to the brig.
Yeah, that's a good idea. You know what? I will go with you. I just need to go ahead and grab my coat. I'm just gonna knock the trunk over, to try to distract him, and I'm gonna try to book it. Just go, meow, just try to find a nice little cubby hole, just like a rat to squeeze into.
Absolutely. This is a night move for sure, to try and evade the D.I. Pettigrew doppelganger. What are you afraid is going to happen?
I'm afraid he's gonna catch me by my tail. Just get me, just grab me. Yeah.
It's worse than that. He is going to catch you by your tail, and he is going to toss you overboard. But you will sink down, 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 lower than the lowest submarine would go, and you will implode down in the middle of the ocean, in the freezing water, never to be seen again.
Yeah, that sounds pretty bad. Okay.
I would like you to roll the night move, in this case with vitality, to try and knock the thing over and skedaddle.
Mhm.
You better put some extra ski in that daddle, I'm telling you. Don't let him catch you.
Jeez. Well, I'm in luck because I'm from Ski County, Georgia. So there you go.
Wild.
Got it in spades.
Wait, for real?
Also, no.
Okay.
Gotcha, though.
You
Also,
did
if I succeed, I am going to mark a use of where the shadows lie. So be prepared
beautiful.
for that. Howdy! Look at that. That's a 4 on the die, but I got a 3, so that's a 7 to 9 by the skin of my teeth.
Oh lordy, you did it.
Whew.
All right, and you're going to be marking or using your move.
Yeah, where the shadows lie.
Yeah.
In particular, once per session, I may travel ahead of the group, or essentially just travel to a new location important to an active threat with no trouble. I'm going to take the time to describe how I make my way there in a fashion that seems to defy logic, which in we see Carter go ahead and knock the trunk down. I'm going to let you go ahead and like take the full reins on this, but I'm just going to say talk, and he's going to find that there's like a little like a cubby hole, like or just a little gap, just like where pipes are going into in the back of this theater, and it's just going to start scrabbling and like getting into it. Like the boy's greasy, wearing those chef coats, and it's like they're all greased up, been in the kitchen and everything. It's just going to start sliding through to the point where it's like claustrophobic for a normal person, but Carter is not a person. Carter is a rat in a person's body, and is if I can get my fucking head into any opening, the rest of me's getting in there by God. Yeah, and so I'm just shimmying and just kicking
Incredible.
my legs and getting out of there. Yeah. And I am going to find my way somehow. I'll let you kind of take the reins here, Chef. But I'm going to find my way on the RMS Hyperion. It could be in the same theater. I could come out of the same theater. I'll put that in yours and God's hands. So I'll put that in God's hands.
I just wish I wish I could show everyone a GIF because it's reminding me of this scene from Ed and Nettie, where all of the Eds are jumping over a fence, going under a fence, and Ed decides to jump into the knot hole of the fence and just like toilet washes himself through, just toilet flushes himself through, and that's all I see is, and I do not see a human-sized pipe him going inside. I see a rat-sized pipe, and or Carter gets there. He gets in there.
I love a greasy rat man.
Just fucking just
I was
I'm
waiting
outta
for
here.
I love a rat reference.
Oh, I do. I love rats.
I know.
I
you do.
asked
It's
for
so
more
wonderful.
rats, and Wes gave me a greasy rat man.
What more can you ask for? I mean, more rats, obviously.
Yeah.
We could put more rats in. So
Also, by
over
the way,
on-
the clue, by the way, I want to shout out
Yeah.
a person suit that seems to be made from actual people parts.
Oh
I don't think
my
Carter
God.
I don't think Carter realizes that he's got that in his hands because he just kind of grabbed it from the trunk as he was like looking through, and then until he like gets into like one of those little like cubby like access hatch hallways in ships that just have a bunch of pipes and steam and everything. He like calms down a little bit and he looks down. He's like, "Fuck," and just sees that there's a holding the person.
That is all right. I'm gonna pop that clue into the into the character keeper in just a moment. That is a very disturbing clue. I'm excited to see how you're going to work that into the theory.
It goes in
over-
tandem with our pile of shedded skin, so I think we
Yeah,
can figure out
it'll
something.
be fun.
Yeah.
Over on the Hyperion, you have I'm gonna say that the two of you have made it to the turbine room. You see a cavernous room with 8 monolithic turbines. It stands completely silent because this ship is dead in the water. You see a graveyard of man's ingenuity with piles of coal staggered throughout. So I suppose you could have just grabbed some coal from here, but you have a special coal now.
Yeah, this
There are
was a gift,
rows of-
though.
It's a gift, yeah. There are rows of spades and other tools hanging on the walls. They are all eager to be used once again. Paint the scene for everyone, including Wes. How can we tell that the workers rarely left this room, even when they were not scheduled to work?
We see like hammocks and like little plates and glasses and like forks that are like arranged in an area of this room that even when they were sleeping or eating, they were still in this room.
I think this one's for Charlie. I think that there is like a heavily utilized dartboard for any time that they have just a second to themselves, that was the only fun they had. And it's crudely stuck to the wall.
Waste buckets. I don't gotta say much more than that. Waste buckets.
Ooh, yuck.
Indeed, dear.
It's not fun anymore. But
I regret
indentured
this.
servitude.
Game got too real.
Who wrote this thing? So now that you are in the turbine room and looking around, you do see the captain herself. She is standing over a table, and there's nothing on the table, but she looks like she's furiously flipping through pages of some kind of book or something like that. And she is muttering to herself. You can see that she also seems slightly translucent. I don't understand. Where's it gone? I did the ritual properly. It should be fine. Everything should be. And she turns and looks at you. You. Maybe you are the solution. Maybe you're what I was missing. You're from a different ship, correct? Where is your captain?
I don't think that is a question you want an answer to.
Gone, then. You need a captain. I need a crew. This seems serendipitous.
I don't think that word is exactly how I would go about describing it, especially in regards to the whereabouts of your crew. Do you care to answer that question?
Haven't you seen them? They're still here. All of them. The passengers, too.
Aye, and I get the feeling that they want to leave.
This is a perfect ship. Why would anyone want to leave?
Well, I can already tell from the 10 seconds I've spent talking to you, I want to be off this ship as soon as possible.
Ah. I can help you with that. And she steps forward, her teeth elongating into a shark-like mouth, her jaw separating like a snake. And she lunges at you. At this moment, we're going to take a little break. I'll see you all back in, I don't know, 5-ish. Does anyone need a longer break? 5-ish minutes seems good.
That's fine. Yeah,
All
that's
right,
good.
see you back in 5.
Yeah, impending doom. Who needs more time?
Don't worry about it.
It's fine.
Welcome back, everybody.
Let's go to our next unseen threat, or unseen prompt, not threat.
I was
I'm
about to
just
say, I
Brand
see the
new-
threat.
Brand new threat in the unseen.
I'm just busy threatening you all.
You're just throwing jazz into that. I didn't write any threats in the unseen. There's no mini threats that happen in the unseen game.
I accidentally closed the character keeper. So, Wes, would you like to introduce the unseen? Prompt,
Absolutely.
please?
For the next prompt here. After an hour of descent towards the test depth of 1,000 feet, the crew begin to experience shared hallucinations. What terrifying things do they see, and how does it lead to cataclysmic failure? We see as they get ever closer down, further down, closer to this massive mass. We can see each of the crew members beginning to hear things, like a band tuning up or something. And they begin trying to call out to one another, but as they try to speak, it's almost like instruments are playing instead of them talking. To a moment where they actually open their eyes. And each of these submarine members are sitting in an auditorium, a theater. They're facing the stage, and there's an orchestra on stage, and there's also a chorus. And there's a man in a black suit with dead eyes, like a shark, and he's tuning up the band as they're preparing. And then he goes and he lifts his wand up, expecting for the band to play a loud note, and instead a chicken just pops out of his wrist, and a lot of the crew members are taken aback. But it starts flying, and almost like it's floating through water. And some of them give out like nervous chuckles. That's funny. That's very funny. And some of them start laughing. And then there's a rumble, and then a rumble, and then a rumble. And then the roof of this auditorium is torn off as a great giant mass, a thing with teeth and jaws and everything, gnashes into it and then tries to chomp at the chicken and then at everyone sitting in the auditorium. And you can just see in the submarine, they're all running about to and fro, losing their minds, bumping into knobs and nozzles and buttons, and alarms start going off, ringing.
Holy hell. Okay. So, Carter, where do you end up on the Hyperion when you make your way over there?
Oh. I think, let's make it fucked up. I think it's, they're all in like the engine room, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Fucking put me in the engine room. Let's make it spicy. Come on, let's see. Just like scrabbling through and pulling himself through pipes and everything. But I'm not like immediately pulled out into the open. I'm pulled like into a space that's like I'm like kind of stuck, and there's like the massive like engine turbines in front of me, and I can't truly make out where they're at or anything. I just know that there's like people around here, and Carter just like freezes.
Yeah, and what you see, the silhouette that you see, or the scene that is before you, is this captain launching herself towards Viscountess Burgundy, teeth elongated, wild look in her eyes. Burgundy, what do you do?
Boy, I want to grab one of the darts that's in this engine room and like stab this lady in the neck if she's corporeal enough to try to eat me. That means she can be injured, possibly.
I think that is a brilliant use of things that are in your environment. Unfortunately, you do have the condition disarmed.
Yeah,
And
literally.
you are a little more worried about, you don't have a weapon, but you're a little more worried about the safety of Dr. Pierce than you would normally possibly be. So I think you are going to do this at disadvantage, unless you have something else in your footlocker that you might think
No, I love
would help.
disadvantage.
I know you do. So this is going to be vitality.
Okay.
So what's the worst thing? What are you afraid will happen? I'll make it worse.
I'm afraid that those sharp teeth that the captain has grown are not an illusion, and they will be sinking into my flesh very shortly. That the dart, she will not even fucking care.
It's worse than that. She will shred you of your skin, and you will still be alive to suffer through a long and painful death.
I love that your it's worse than that's are always like, I will live, but I will be horribly ugly.
I feel like that would be something that Burgundy wouldn't like.
um, well, that is a 4. I am going to spend a mask, but I will let you narrate it if you'd like to, because how often do you get to kill a character?
I love killing a character. The captain lunges towards you, and her teeth sink into your forehead and shred the skin down off of your face, peeling against your cheek, against your chin, down your neck. It's just a strip of skin gone from you. You can feel it. It feels like the worst sunburn you've ever had in your entire life. And even worse than that, it's salty and painful with saliva and whatever this goo that is coming out of the captain's mouth as she does this. And she spins and chomps into the side of your neck, pulling your necklace off, shredding the diamonds through your skin, causing even more pain, even more destruction on your body. And Dr. Pierce is powerless against this. He fights, he struggles. There is nothing he can do except know that he is next. Carter, you witness all of this, stuck, helpless. But in this timeline, something different happens. What mask are you going to mark?
I'm gonna mark a Mask of the Past, and I'll probably just do it like also doing the Mask of the Grave. So we'll just do a cute 2-for-1 later. But yeah,
Love a 2-for-1. Love that. Beautiful. So instead of that, the dart that you throw, it manages to make its way inside the center of her forehead, right between her eyes. It sinks in, and she looks up at you, her teeth still huge and smiling, and blinks. A trickle of blood. It is black. She falls to the ground and lays still. Dr. Pierce, what do you do in this moment?
I'm gonna make my way over to the whatever kind of hoodoo or voodoo she was working on, and I'm gonna flip through that page to see if there's anything I can work through to get rid of her. Because if there's something keeping her here that she's so desperately looking for, there's got to be something I can do to potentially banish her.
Since there was nothing on this table, I think for you to try and reach into whatever realm that she was, whatever kind of world she was reaching into to look at the thing that she was looking at, that's definitely going to be a night move. I'm going to make this a night move with reason, because it's kind of an investigation type of thing.
Mhm.
What are you afraid will happen if you lose your cool or can't manage to work your way into this situation, or into this horrifying other world?
Knowing that his family has a background in voodoo magic, he knows the terrors of what is on the other side finding you, and he's afraid he's going to pull something out instead of sending something away.
It's worse than that. You will get pulled in to this other world, alone and tortured for eternity. If you have something in your personal, sorry, I keep saying personal quarters because I'm the between brained. If you have something in your footlocker that you think would be helpful, please narrate how that is useful to take advantage. Otherwise, roll with reason.
Yeah, I'm gonna use up the last thing in my footlocker just because it's fun. I'm gonna use that flesh terrarium I was given, which is awful. And I believe the reason that Pierce was gifted this flesh terrarium, it is the skin samples of folks who have been afflicted by supernatural diseases that aren't quite explainable. And Pierce has been trying to see ways of combining modern medicine and voodoo magic at the same time. And he's not proud of it. He doesn't fully truly realize why he does it, but he does it nonetheless.
Brilliant, brilliant use of the flesh terrarium. Well done. Please take your roll with advantage. That is reason. You're very reasonable.
Pretty reasonable. 9. That is an 11.
Oh, outstanding. You know, if you mark a mask, you can get a mastermind clue.
Just a mask. How many of those do I got?
You get lots.
I also have to remind you that I do get a mastermind clue because of my Where the Shadows Lie.
I know you do. I'm saving it up.
Damn it. We're popping them off.
Fuck it. We'll do it live. Take a mask. Take a mask at the pad.
No, you're
Yes!
gonna forget more.
I am, and I got a sad
Worth
one.
it.
I got another sad one.
Oh,
I don't
I'm
have to
so
mark them
excited.
I don't have to mark them in order, do I?
Yes, you do.
You
I do have to mark them in order. That's right. Yeah. Because I forgot it's time wise, but that's okay because it's also a sad one.
They're all going to be sad. It's going to be great. I'm so excited. Okay. So we get another mask. We'll hold off on that for just a moment. We're going to cut over to Carter. Carter, you are watching all of this go down. You've seen Viscountess Burgundy throw a dart and kill this creature, this strange ghostly captain. Maybe kill, at least knock them down. You see
It
Dr.
was a
Pierce
mixed
run.
success. I don't think it killed her.
Don't worry about it. We see Dr. Pierce run to a table and start leafing through what looks like an invisible book, and you are struggling your way out of this pipe. What would you like to do? I'm going to assume that you can make your way out of the pipe now.
Oh, I was gonna see if the Viscountess could give me a hand. I don't know if I saw the Viscountess be stuck in there. I'd be like, hey.
You know what? Let's do a little role play. Role play this for
Why
me.
not?
Fuck it. Yeah, let's do it. We're here. Let's do it live. I'm like, hey. Psst. Hey.
What are you? Oh, if it isn't the little rabbit. Oh, hi, darling. What in the blazes are you doing here?
Oh, are you the Viscountess, the one that I saw earlier? Take too special to be seeing you all the way over here on this ship,
Well, it does look as though you've gotten yourself into quite a predicament, Angel.
Yeah, it took a wrong turn back off on the overship, and somehow wound up all tangled up here in the pipes. So if you could do can you do old Carter O'Donoghue a helping hand here and get me on out? That'd be quite special of ye.
Charlie winces a little bit at that particular turn of phrase, and grabs your hand and like lifts one of her heels to like brace against this pipe and just like pulls you out.
Yeah, just tumbles on over onto the ground, and just going, oh, good heavens! What kind of fancy lass are you? Be able to pull a poor folk like me out of them pipes like that? You got a rare hidden strength inside you, don't you?
Oh, I assure you, darling, I am full of surprises.
You know, I just saw a magician sorts that was full of surprises as well too. But well, that's a story for another time. It's like, oh, you done and killed that lady. That's okay. Well, I didn't see nothing. All right, I promise on my soul. But by
I
thunder.
I assure you, Angel, it was a kindness what I did.
At that moment, the captain on the floor screams and sits up to grabbing the dart from her forehead and throwing it at you, Carter.
Oh, she screams. She's throwing at it. I'm gonna tank it, and I'm gonna try to tank the dart and just dive for her as soon as just like that surprising like whip around Sam Raimi style. She's like, ah, and I'm just gonna straight up just just keel haul over and just start wailing. Just like, stop it, stop it.
Because you all marked a mask to make this a little bit easier, I'm going to give this to you, and I think that you go to town. You pulverize the shadowness out of the face of this creature that was and is the captain, and I think you can consider this threat as you've destroyed the captain. And I think destroying, as you theorize, destroying the captain has released the souls, released the people from this ship. So you can consider this threat as achieved,
Oh, heck
as
yeah.
resolved. We're going to
Amazing.
quickly cut over to the last unseen threat. I keep saying threat. Last unseen prompt. This is a paint the scene for everyone. In the 0.01 seconds before implosion, what are some thoughts that flash before the crew's minds before they are merely erased from existence forever? Again, this is for everyone.
All right, crew, how sad are we getting?
Yes, cry.
I don't think it's the big moments. It's not like the birth of children or weddings. It is just a hazy, drunken night at a shitty bar before they set sail, drinking and playing darts. Just the last fun moment that this crew had.
I think one of them is a young crewman who was not having the best time on this ship. And then it's a moment where one of the senior members sits down with him and lets him know it takes time getting used to this. And it's a difficult life, but we're in it together. And I think that's the last person he makes eye contact with before.
One sailor thinks of their toes in the sand and water of the first place that was in England where they ever first set foot.
Dr. Pierce, while you flip through this book for a single moment, a strange moment, it's like you're peering into a different realm, a different time, a different universe. You look up and you see the barnacles that cover this ship. You've seen them already. You've seen where they stand, where crew members could be, important spots. But now you see them as tablets, and they're carved with intricate detail. What do you see in the carving?
I think, and so these are strewn all across what I'm seeing on like the walls and everything like that.
Correct.
I see wishes and cries for help. I see on one, I see the markings that say, help me. I see another marking that says, tell my mother, and it trails off. And all of them are almost interlocking, almost as though someone had written, it's like a note that someone wrote over and someone else wrote over that one and wrote over that one, all of them flipping through one another, all different once again, wishes, requests.
That is a mastermind clue. Carter, when you were making your way over to the Hyperion, you caught a glimpse, a very short glimpse of the sky. And it took you a little bit to realize what was going on and why it was so strange. But you realize now it's because the stars are all in the wrong place. That is also a mastermind clue. Through a porthole, Countess Burgundy, you can see the Chronos from where you're standing. You can see these gusts of shadows escaping the Hyperion, floating away up into the heavens, the released victims of the captain on this ship as they make their way into whatever thing is next for them. And through those shadows, over on the Chronos, you see a tall man, slim, with a spyglass, looking straight at you. He pulls the spyglass down and chuckles to himself. I would like you to take the condition marked by Admiral Flag.
Yes.
That is the end of our night phase. Let's go to dawn. So, in the dawn phase, we have a few little upkeep things to do. Our dawn questions. Did the hunters answer a question? You, in fact, all answered a question, so you get that check mark. Please mark that on your sheet. I'm going to mark it for Susan. Did the hunters resolve a threat? You did, in fact, resolve a threat. I will mark that for Susan as well. Wes, did you experience an echo in the night?
I did, with the theater and all the sailors experiencing a hallucination within that, and then me also being in the theater experiencing the hallucination of having to deal with the police.
That is correct and awesome. Please take your XP point for that. Did you find a place to rest your head without fear of punishment?
Not yet, dog.
One day you'll get some rest, but
Somebody bring
today
this
is not the day.
If you're cold, then he's cold. Somebody let him in.
Did you allow yourself a moment of intimacy even though you know you don't deserve it?
Even though I know I don't deserve it, absolutely, with Elga.
Yeah.
A little shared affection there. My God,
Yeah.
this little wretch. Perfect.
Please take your XP.
I got an advancement.
Yes, an advancement.
Yes,
Kim,
dear.
did you experience an echo in the night?
Yes, playing darts.
You sure did. That was lovely. Did you shirk responsibility to live it up with the lower decks?
Again, with my apologies to Pierce, I believe consciously not investigating the Hyperion and instead choosing to have sex with Dr. Pierce would certainly qualify.
I will give you that. Absolutely. That was definitely shirking your duties.
We should shirk more often. Okay.
I love it when people shirk. Did you experience something luxurious, obviously for the first time?
I don't think so.
I don't recall that you did either.
No.
But you can still get your other points for that. Percy, did you experience an echo in the night?
I think I did. You did mention I saw barnacles, and I remember the barnacles. Those
All right,
damn
let's do it.
barnacles.
Did you use your skills to heal someone successfully?
Not this time around.
Carter does fully
Did
have
you
a dart in his chest, but sadly we
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah. It's just a dart. What harm could a dart do? A lot, actually, because it just killed that ghost. Well, it mostly killed that ghost. Did you share your physical desire for a patient?
I sure did.
Well,
Full body exam. She's great, by the way.
yeah. He was
She
very
is a- she
thorough
is
in
a-
making sure I was okay after my ordeal.
Yes, very healthy.
Please take your XP for that. Do you get an advancement? Does anyone get advancement?
I'm one away.
One
I
away?
did. I got an
You got an
advancement.
advancement?
Well done.
Well, you can think about what you want to do. Let's move to what you want to do. Let's move to masks. We have.
Oh wait, can we claim
The-
rewards? Give us prizes.
Oh my gosh! Of course.
We also
Why
need
did I
ones
forget
for.
that?
We also need prizes for the siren threat.
Yes. Okay. The siren. I'm gonna put these. I'm gonna
Two
put them
Christmases.
2 Christmases.
I'm gonna put them in
The
our
divorce
Discord
was
chat.
worth it.
As I was looking at my dwindling footlocker, I'm like, we're supposed to be getting more of these, right?
I totally forgot. I'm just
Yeah,
so
because
caught
I'm
up
looking
in
at one
the
of my
moment.
advancements, and one of those, I'm like, y'all need to get more shit. So I
All
can
right.
take it.
I just posted the rewards in our Discord chat. I'm going to read them out loud right now so everyone can hear them. The rewards for the Siren Serenade are Gavin's backup violin and catgut bow. We did not actually meet Calliope, so we do not get that reward. You can get a Siren's Trident made from coral and deadly sharp,
Oh my goodness.
or a memento from the investigation, and you can ask another Ballast class member what it is and add it to your footlocker. And we can do that multiple times.
Could have had it all. I could have had a +4 vitality. God
You
damn it,
could've.
Calliope.
She did not show up.
It'd be unstoppable.
Let the team down.
That's gonna be the new role. Is I'm just gonna throw Carter at whatever. He's got plenty of vitality.
Fastball special, me.
I hate to be
It's
an
not what
Irish.
everyone like.
I hate to be an Irish cliche, but Charlie did grow up in the theater, so I'm gonna go ahead and take the violin.
Yeah, legit. Please add it to your footlocker.
Yeah, I'm gonna need some kind of memento.
I'm going to take the Siren's Trident.
Nice. Percy, who would you like to give you your memento?
Oh God. I think I am gonna ask Kim because we were there the entire time. Because I was like Carter would be good too, but it's like I think it makes sense.
I think I want to give you some.
If you say flesh terrarium,
No.
I'm coming through the webcam. By the way, I am gonna turn into a
ring.
I'm gonna turn into a I was gonna do a Five Nights at Freddy's jump scare. I'm gonna get you.
No, I was gonna say a sweet one. I was gonna say some perfectly preserved flowers that were present in the centerpieces at the Maestro's birthday.
That is nice.
How am I gonna use them for fucked up stuff?
Yeah.
You'll figure it
I
out.
hope
I
you
believe in you. The rewards, because you also get rewards for the Haunting of the RMS Hyperion. The rewards here are 2 Christmases. Captain Welch's Whistle, which is icy cold to the touch. A Sapphire Star Pennant to the RMS Hyperion, and you can take the custom move. I've seen this before, which is not in this thing. So
It's
we'll
on
figure
our-
out what that is.
It's on our threat.
It's on. Yeah, it's under the question.
Oh, perfect. I'm glad I did that. You can take the custom move. I've seen this before. You can have Tyson becoming a recurring side character, in which case you can roll with advantage on navigating the ship stealthily, as long as he's asked where the best hide and seek spots are on board. And of course, because the Hyperion is the exact duplicate of the Chronos, he would know. Or a memento from the investigation. You can ask another Ballast class member what it is.
Damn, these are good rewards.
I know.
I was just gonna say they were like the wall.
I'm gonna go ahead and make y'all have to take the hard decisions because I hate taking hard decisions. That shit sucks. So I'm gonna take when I stomped the captain multiple times. I took Captain Welch's whistle from around her neck. It's icy cold to the
Legit.
touch.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Take a trophy.
I would like to give the Sapphire Star to Charlie if she'll have it.
Okay, sure.
Because I unfortunately am gonna have because I have no sensitivity. I'm a doctor. Damn it. But I think I'm gonna have to take another memento because I want Tyson safe. I want him to not have to be in any more danger. I want him to just be a
That's so
kid.
nice.
It's very valid of you.
Leave him on the Hyperion by himself to be a kid.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's just gonna sail it home.
Yeah.
Nah, we won't
You're not
put
gonna-
Tyson in trouble. We will assume that somehow he gets saved.
Yeah.
And he will not have to be on the Chronos.
And now this time I
who-
want Wes to give me a memento.
Oh, Arlon. What you got is you've got Dr. Alonzo Pierce number 2's notebook. It's just like yours, except just a little different on the notes. And as we know with Dr. Pierce, any other doctor's insight into things is always going to be useful insight because you never stop learning about things.
Amazing.
You had some good notes.
Good notes. Rats in the margins.
And now let's go
Why
to
does he
masks.
doodle so much?
Why is he so good at doodling?
Yeah, he's like actually like pretty incredible at it. Damn.
Draw
His
me like one
handwriting's
of the French
immaculate.
girls.
Yeah, is it? Yeah, it's just like in mine. It's just like a stick figure, and it's got like girl hair and a smile, and it's like Charlie, and it's like I look at his, and there's just a whole woman drawn, and I'm like, I don't know who that woman is.
Dr. Pierce is just despondent the rest of the trip. I'll never be a good artist. I just
Yeah,
You have to
he could have been
practice.
he could have been whatever he wanted to be. Why'd he turn to evil?
That was one of the things that he
Bombastic.
forgot. It was like an unseen mask. He forgot the ability to draw.
Oh, amazing.
Oh my god, you
Uh,
did because I gave you the watercolor. I gave you a sketchbook. But
It's
now that
true.
got taken
Mhm,
away. You can't
mhm.
draw anymore.
Phoebe has said that Tyson is getting picked up by the Carpathia,
Fantastic.
which is great joke. 10 out of 10.
He retired to safety.
Yeah, he is retired to safety. The only person in this group that might, I'm not saying you won't.
Excuse me?
You might.
Huh?
So back to the Dawn Face. We still have a bunch of masks. We have the mask of the Grave.
Yeah.
Each ballast class narrates a time when they lost a loved one close to them and what steps they took to move on with their grief. We also have a mask from Dr. Pierce and a mask from Viscountess Burgundy.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody want to get started? Take us away. Take us into your backstory.
Yeah.
I'll
Oh,
do
go ahead.
mine before Percy makes me cry. And yeah, before these
Okay.
two show up all of my masks, because y'all do masks so good. So Amanda read The Mask of the Grave, and we will get there shortly, but I'm going to go ahead and start with my mask. Narrate a flashback to the moment you left home and your mother gave you a brand new set of clothes. How did they make you feel desirable? What were the last words she ever said to you? So, I want to take us back to that same little flat in Whitechapel, that belonging to Charlotte and her mother, Clara. It looks a little nicer now. It seems as though Clara's gambit of wearing the fancy gowns of the women whose clothes she was washing and using that to entertain gentlemen at night has panned out somewhat well for them. Charlie is 15 years old when she decides to no longer be a burden to her mother. She desires a life on the stage. She's going out for her very first audition for a shitty music hall in Covent Garden. And her mother gives her a brand new dress to wear for that audition. It is patchwork. It's made from little pieces of exquisite fabric that were taken from the gowns of years of clients of Clara's and covertly sewn into a very beautiful dress. And Charlie is given this on her 15th birthday. Clara kisses her cheek, grabs her by both shoulders, and says, "Now I expect you to take this dress and make something of yourself." And that was the last time that Charlie ever saw her mother. I'd like to take us a couple years down the line, still in that same shitty music hall just off of Covent Garden. Charlie, now going by Charlotte Yates, is a minor star of this shitty music hall, mostly famous for her willingness to show her legs and other very desirable parts of her body. This troupe of actors delights in performing somewhat bawdy send-ups of current events of the day. And usually grisly, usually always done with some, extra blood, unnecessary nudity, a song and dance thrown in. And that's all well and good until there is a string of murders that plague London. A serial killer haunting the streets of Whitechapel, killing people and stealing their faces. The third victim of which is one Clara Yarborough. Now, Charlie, at this point, going by a different name, no one knows her real name. No one knows her connection to this. She doesn't even really follow the paper that much to know what had happened to her mother. She only realizes what had happened when she shows up for the first day of rehearsal to something called The Cruel Life and Many Deaths of Sally No Face, and finds out what part she is playing in this wicked little play.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh, I am gutted! Holy shit!
There we go.
Woo! Yes. Okay. Okay.
You
Holy.
can skip mine. You can
heck.
skip mine. Yeah, skip mine. That ruled.
Let's go more masks. Let's go more backstory. Feed it to me. Drip it into my veins.
Oh, I am going to make Percy go last, so I do not get upstaged by amnesia.
I have two. We all have two masks,
We
right?
love you.
I've got one.
Okay. Oh yeah,
Yeah, we all have to
mine
do
are-
Mask of the Grave.
Yeah.
Mine are fucked back to back. Okay, so yeah.
Perfect.
Get it.
We see Carter breathing heavily after stomping in the captain's face, whatever the fuck that creature was, or whatever was going on with her. And he's breathing heavily. And then we cut. And the man that's ragged, a shell of a man, with a scraggly mullet and a long, scraggly beard. This kind of like aloof George Clooney from Oh Brother Where Art Thou type character has been replaced in a smash cut to a man. I'll post it in the Omniverse Chronicles. Also, this is a warning for colonialism, colonization that comes up in this playbook. But instead, we see a handsome man wearing a blue woolen coat, lapelled, with white baggy pants, white feet wraps around boots. He has on a khaki French military style cap that has a white draped cloth over the back of it to keep the sun from beating down on the back of his neck. Most of the time, this clothing would be perfect for what the French Foreign Legion does in their operations. But it seems the Legion has overextended, and their typical desert warfare attire is no match for the jungles of arid, turn-of-the-century Vietnam. This is a number of months before the siege of Tuan Quang, which is a devastating, devastating siege upon the Vietnamese people by the French Foreign Legion. You wouldn't know by looking at these legionnaires, though. Young men, all handsome for the most part, some handsome to their mothers. Carter has a thick, bushy mustache that goes off to 2 points, and he's sweating buckets. It's starting to droop from the mustache grease that is required by the French Foreign Legion if you were to have a mustache. And Carter's always wanted a mustache, so this is the perfect time to have one. He regrets it now. They're spending their time on guard post duty, overlooking just a normal standard garrison, when he's alerted by his French officer. He's picking up on some of it. It's kind of close to what he's grown up around in the South, in the Deep South. There's been some French traders that go back and forth, especially on their way to New Orleans. But it's kind of tough for him to get around. He's not used to highfalutin speak. Understands that he has a letter from back home. He immediately runs to the post. It's a literal post in the ground where there's a metal box. He grabs the letter and he sees that it's from home. He's surprised that it's found him all the way here. He hasn't seen his family since he was 16. In it is a letter. Scarlet fever has struck in the areas outside of Atlanta. During this time in Reconstruction, it was a priority to get the terminus of a lot of rail stations up and at 'em. A lot of people from all walks of life were trained into the city of Atlanta to help Reconstruction and rebuild it after it was burned. And with those walks of life came people with all sorts of different bacteria, animals they were living with, all sorts of stuff, including a case of scarlet fever that outbroke. It ravaged through the poor tenement parts of Atlanta on the outskirts of the city. So while the rest of the rich, highfalutin plantation owners were having their mansions rebuilt, as well as all of these fancy downtown new storefronts and theaters, a lot of the folks right outside of the very city limits were being murdered by a bacteria they did not even know existed. Every single member of Carter's family was decimated. There was no money for doctors, nothing. The only way they found out who Carter was because there was letters that Carter was sending back to his brothers and sisters. They were able to trace it back to him. How he ended up here in the French Foreign Legion, well, we're here to find out. How does Carter get through this? He's stone-faced. He's learned that you don't show the other French Foreign Legionnaires when you have any sorts of emotion. These are not normal soldiers. These are killers, thieves, rapists, murderers. They're the worst of the worst. And if you show any weakness, you're done for. We immediately smash cut to him, covered in dirt and soot. It's 2 months later. There are tear streams coming down through the soot. There's blood all over the place. Smoke fills the air. He's been ordered, with the rest of his unit, to deal with the tunnels that are being dug by the Chinese underneath the city. Him and the rest of his squad members have to go down below in these tunnels that are being dug, and they have to try to root out the enemy. They can't have lights on because people will learn that they're down there and they'll probably collapse the tunnels on him. So he has to spend an immense amount of time in the dark, and that's where he gets through it. Not in a clean way, but in a dirty way that's not fit for human consumption.
Holy moly. Dr. Pierce, let's hear it.
What? What do you want to hear about?
Give me a moment. I have to find my tissues.
Yeah, all right, y'all. All right. All right. Man, what one will make y'all cry more? Do you want to know about the first time he lost a patient, or do you want to hear about a loved one that he lost? I'm hearing a lot of loved one stuff. Hear loved ones? Loved
Yeah,
ones? All
let's do
right.
loved ones.
Let's mix it up.
Let's
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, let's hear about our loved ones and how important they are. And Pierce doesn't have very many. At least he hadn't seen them in quite some time. We are, goodness, 10 years removed from when he last saw his family taken by boat all the way across to France to study at the nicest academies, to learn how to act like some proper dandy, like some to talk the way that he doesn't actually talk, to act a way that is expected of his status. Now, he didn't have status back home. He had people that loved him. And Pierce hadn't been getting a lot of love for a long time, and he's sitting in his dorm. He's reading over papers. He's got an enormous test ahead of him. It is his freshman year at Oxford, where he is not supposed to be. He is here purely from patronage and voodoo. And if he fails, he knows he lets down every person back home that loves him. And you think that, halfway through the first semester, yeah, he gets a little jitters. It gets a little hard for him. But that knock on the door haunts him to this day. Pierce gets up from his desk. He walks over to the door. He opens it. And it's Mr. Dubois. Mr. Dubois, his patron, who dragged him away from his family, forced him here because of some kind of ritual. It don't matter at this time. He's here now. And they ain't never been close, but Mr. Dubois is tense. He reaches out and he hands me a letter, and Pierce takes the letter and he sees his mother's handwriting. Mama already wrote me for this month. What's going on, Mr. Dubois? Mr. Dubois raised a hand and just beckons him to read it. And tearing the letter open, the first words Pierce sees is, Omar is gone. And little Alonzo is taken back to a gap-toothed, happy older brother that always watched out for little Alonzo. He made sure the bigger kids didn't pick on him for the fact that he wasn't the outdoorsy type, that he would rather stay in with a book and learn and read and help his community than go off and get into any kind of trouble they were. And that didn't mean that Omar didn't get into trouble. Omar loved getting into trouble. Not this kind. This wasn't no illness. This was a murder. This was a life stolen. And halfway through the letter, Pierce finds himself back and finds himself also realizing that his life was stolen, and the man in front of him is the man who did so. And in a fury, Alonzo swings on his patron and storms out of the college, fully ready to go back home. And as he is storming out of this building, ready to set the entire world on fire, if he is allowed to, Mr. Dubois screams back out to him, read the rest. Alonzo straightens his shoulders, reads the rest, and there's one passage that really reaches out to him. At the end of the letter, Mama says, he loved you. He talked about you non-stop. You can't change what you need to change by running back to your past. Your life and your success is our success. We will get by. And so will you. Little Alonzo goes back and sees a moment. He's about to get on that ship, and Omar, with that big gap tooth grin, takes his little brother in his arms and says, "We'll get by. And so will you." And Dr. Pierce is still getting by. And that's just one mask, y'all.
I know.
That's just one mask. Does anyone want any more?
Yeah.
Are you
yes,
sure?
I do.
Yes.
I'm just kidding. The next
Hurt
one's
us,
not so bad.
please.
The
I'm on a
next one's
piggy and I need to
the
be
next-
fed. Come
the next
on,
one's
give me
the
my
next
sad
one's
slop.
the next one's not so bad. The next one's not so bad. This one, narrate a flashback to the first patient you ever lost. What was the cause of their death, and what small detail did you overlook that could have saved them? Dr. Pierce graduated with honors. His success was his family's success, and no one told him that success was gonna take so much goddamn work. Pierce is at the end of a 18-hour shift on his 7th day at the hospital. There have just been illness after illness going on. A cold here, typhoid fever there, every which way. And for the 7th time in a row, this little old lady, little Miss Mia, decides to come back in and tell me that, oh, her hot flashes have gotten worse. And I've told her for the 13th, 17th time, because every which time she finds me, she gets another question. I don't know who keeps letting her back into the building. There's something about her being the grandmother of one of our founders. I don't know. That doesn't make sense. None of it makes sense. But I am so goddamn tired. I just need a moment to myself. I tell her, if you are not feeling well in the morning, just contact me again. And I feel her take my hand, and it is ice cold. Like I'm walking arm in arm with a corpse, and she looks up at me, and her face is flashed red, and Miss Mia puts her other hand on my face and tells me, people around here appreciate the hard work you're doing. I'm too goddamn tired for little cute old lady isms, and I tell her that if you are not feeling well tomorrow, reach out to me. Thank you. And she stumbles a little when she knows she's older. What are you gonna do? And I don't. I'm having difficulties remembering where they said she fell. I didn't I didn't ask her when she scratched herself. Something about while she was in her garden. I didn't know about the infection. I just remember her 30-minute tirade about getting older and things not working the same. If I just had a little more time, a couple more hours of sleep, I would have been able to think. I would have been able to ask her the actual questions that mattered, and that then bring the family any comfort. I, I can't remember the name of her granddaughter that told me talking to me was some of the most fun she ever had. What was I talking about? Forget this memory. But I get a little extra. I get to add one to my composure. That's now 2 composure for those at home.
You're very composed, unlike the rest of us. Whew.
Guys, my memory is a little fuzzy. What was I talking about?
God.
This playbook is
The devil.
damn US. Damn you, Percy.
Look,
I mean,
homie might have been going through it. All right, at the time.
Why did Charlie fall for somebody who's slowly forgetting who the fuck they are? That's fun.
Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's so fine.
Don't worry. I'm gonna let you know, Kim. I'll prep you now. I've
Yeah?
got a line in my back pocket for if I get that last one for you. Just for you.
Oh.
I can't wait,
Hope
baby.
I never use it.
I can't
no,
wait.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to go brain dead. Let's be honest.
Let's be honest. Well, we are now, I believe we finished all the... Does anyone have on-phase moves that are needing to be set off now? We are in a new day phase, which means a new threat.
Woo! It never ends.
Is the new
I'm
threat in the
gonna-
room with us right now?
The threat is in the room with you right now. The new threat is the iceberg. Wes
Why am I surprised?
Who's driving this shit?
Oh, this is the money
There
shot.
is
we
no
don't have a
captain.
We don't have a captain.
The captain is dead. Nobody is driving. First mate Rebecca is doing her best, okay?
I'm sorry.
The-
I'm sorry.
The RMS Kronos has approached an ice field and made preparations to navigate through the treacherous waters. For the most part, there have been no issues, but a small bump into a massive berg seems to have caused some damage to the deck. Despite small hiccups, there didn't seem to be any problems until you came across the wreck. I'm going to pose this to Dr. Pierce. The last time you were at sea, there was an issue with an ice field at night. What small tragedy made you overly cautious of icebergs?
I'm gonna say it was the reaction of everyone else on board. It was watching humans revert back to the worst parts of themselves with the sole idea of survival. It's made Pierce very weary of the folks around him during disastrous situations.
There is a shipping vessel. It is barely afloat and filled with deep gouges. A lone survivor, Tully, had found shelter on top of a crate just big enough to hold him. He was in shock, but managed to let you know that he and his crew were making the trek from Scotland to New York when they stumbled into the ice field. They had little to no trouble, similar to you. But as they made their way through, there seemed to be something from the ice field following them. Tully doesn't remember much, but only the sounds of screaming and bitter cold. After Tully was taken away to recover, you hear reports of an iceberg dead behind the Kronos. And no matter what direction the ship goes, the iceberg is at the same heading at the stern of the ship and appears to be moving, inching closer. There have been reports of ice forming on the hull, and the ship gardener has requested help in dealing with what he's described as intruders. There
We have
is.
intruders already.
Don't worry about it. There is a question, an opportunity for this. I have knocked it down quite a bit for complexity reasons because we are on a time crunch.
Whoop.
Why is the iceberg pursuing the Chronos? This is a complexity 2. As a reminder, we still have how do we determine who is real and who is fake for the doppelganger threat? And where are the doppelgangers coming from for the doppelganger threat? The how do we determine who is real and who is fake is a complexity 2. The doppelgangers, where are they coming from, is a complexity 4. And we have 3 clues. Let's get started on the day phase. We're not going to do a full day phase because we are running a little short on time. The night phase was too much fun and lasted a little longer than we anticipated. So we're going to have about half a day phase, and then we'll do the rest of it next time, which will play nicely into a nice, long, dangerous night phase for our last session. What does everybody want to do today? Let's start with Carter. Carter, what do you want to do today?
I think the little miss is gonna rat me out. So I'm gonna have to find the Viscountess and make sure that we're on the same page.
This reads to me like a vulnerable move, even though it sounds very threatening.
Oh, I have something that can help you realize whether it's a vulnerable move or more threatening. Can I tell you what I got for my advancement?
Yes, please.
I picked a new move, my additional playbook move, and it's Français parler sans verse, which is French. It is the French Foreign Legion slogan, which is French by bloodshed. Essentially, the whole standard that if you serve your time in the French Foreign Legion, you become a French citizen because you have shed blood for them. When you left behind the Legion, you couldn't take much of anything with you except for the clothes on your back and your sidearm. When you take this move, add a standard issue Modelet 1892 revolver to your cabin footlocker. You only have 6 rounds left. Whenever you use this weapon to take an automatic 12+ on a roll, mark off one of your rounds. The last one is saved for yourself. When you mark the final round, retire your character and narrate your final thoughts on the futility of your struggle for freedom.
Jesus.
I can't wait.
All right. Viscountess Burgundy, I assume that you also gunging in for...
It sounds like the beginning of my day phase is spoken for.
Yeah. What would you like to do for the rest of your day phase then?
I suppose
that.
we'll see how this first little bit goes.
That is fair enough. Dr. Pierce, what do you want to do today?
Question why I'm on this fucking boat.
I think
Just
we're all
sheer-
doing that.
To
Sheer
meet
existential
me,
dread.
obviously.
This is true.
Woohoo.
That is the reason I came here for the good times, and I found the best time. Lucky me. Yeah, I kind of want to talk to if Tully, the person that we found, I imagine is on the boat.
Yeah.
I kind of want to just give them a checkup, make sure that they're doing okay. They might be suffering from hypothermia, and I don't know if anyone else knows what to do. Oh, look there's a doctor on board, so I kind of want to catch up with them, make sure they're doing okay.
Perfect. I'm going to take these notes down. Since we have a question with a complexity of 2 for the double lives of the RMS Chronos, and we have 3 clues, does anyone want to try answering another question today? We can do it right now.
Yeah.
Oh. Brave?
Yeah, why not?
Always.
I got a theory.
Okay. I was going to give you guys a break, but if you got a theory, like, locked and loaded...
We have 30
let's hear
minutes
it.
left, man. We're in too deep
Oh,
now.
yeah,
I know, I was
that's
gonna
We
give
gotta
you, like,
go.
a two- I was gonna give you, like, a
I'm up
2-minute
to my,
break.
I'm up to my britches. Nope.
But
Hang on,
Wes
right here.
is
Okay, one,
locked
two.
and ready.
Okay. How do we determine who is real and who is fake? It's complexity 2. We get to assess which people on board doppelgangers and remove them. A pile of shedded skin and clothing. Well, that's pretty, suspicious. You don't see that every day, even when you got friends that got eczema and all that good stuff.
So is it like
Uh,
is it like shedded skin, or is it like unzipped skin? Like, is it like the morph suit of a person? Like, what's up?
I think that the next clue that we have here says a person suit that seems to be made from actual people parts. I think that we got people making people suits, and they're taking them off and putting them on like it's it's Sunday and they're going to Easter service. It's that easy, which is to say that it's not so easy that you can just slip it on and off like a nightgown, but you can put it on, but you might have to button up some buttons. So,
Yeah, you
And remove
are
some
what you
fingers.
wear.
Yeah, yeah. The complicated thing is they're wearing people suits, but they only have 4 fingers. So sometimes if they're in a hurry and they're swapping between suits and everything like that, you'll see a little extra digit just flapping there. So that's my theory. I'm sticking to it.
Do we have any
It-
alternatives
feel
to this
feel
theory?
free to take that and mold it, shape it however you see fit.
I mean, a lot of the clues that we have for this feel pretty self-explanatory as to how we figure out who's real and who's fake. The doppelgangers
Yeah.
have 4 fingers.
And they
They're
don't act
wearing-
anything like.
They're wearing skin suits, and they can swap them interchangeably, which is why they're not acting like, they're not like perfect copies of people's consciousnesses or anything. They're just literally, they just physically look like those people.
I think that's a really solid theory. That I have no objections.
I'm so scared. I'm
let's-
so scared of bootleg Charlie. Like whoever brings up the Timu Charlie, I'm scared.
I cannot wait.
You
for
should
Timu
be.
Charlie.
I hope you meet her. You might meet her while I'm getting held at gunpoint.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I hope you don't die.
I hope that
I
we
hope
can
you-
be friends.
I hope you
I'd like to
return.
see this friendship.
Please return Mon Chouchou without a bullet, please. I appreciate it.
Wes, would you like to roll this one?
Ah, hell yeah, brother. I also just want to go ahead and say shout out Kevin Mackey, because I've been rolling. The revolver is on theme because
Oh,
I've been
those are
rolling
so
bullet
nice.
die,
I love them.
my bullet d6. So yeah, this is a +1, so we're gonna be okay. We're gonna be just fine. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be okay. Shit, we're gonna be okay. It's a 9. 3 + 5 + 1. It's a 9. Look at that.
Good job, baby.
Scared us.
Yo.
Get us for a second.
All right. So the doppelgangers have 4 fingers and are swapping out human skin suits. That's outstanding. So the next question, of course, that requires that is a complexity 4. So you need to have at least 2 clues in order to answer this. Where are the doppelgangers coming from? Find the source of the doppelgangers and put a stop to them once and for all. There are 0 clues right now. There are also 0 clues on the iceberg because we just started that one. I think at this point it is a little late to go further into anything. I have notes on how we want to start our day phase next time. So let's go to stars and wishes. Does anyone want to start?
Star to everybody, but in particular my players. Star to Percy, because wow, that was a devastating gut punch. Both of those masks, and which is exactly what I want. I want people to bust a gut from sobbing into their Zoom calls and tables when they play this game. This is not but the between Unsinkable. If you want to play fun, sexy, flirty between, you can go ahead and play the between standard. Or if you want to play like the sweaty, grimy, slutty between, you can go play Ghost of El Paso. Or if you want to be a little bit more prim and proper and probably use toys with your between, then you can go play Court of Wolves. But you know what? If you want to be sad, if you want to be melancholic, if you want to just be like no man is an island, but for the next 3 hours I am, the Between Unsinkable is that game. And you really did showcase that, Percy. But then also a star to Kim for over here being like, I'm gonna go first because I don't want to be upstaged by these two. And blah, blah, blah. Shut the fuck up. That was great. That was fantastic stuff. Like, this is you nailed the prompt. You're getting a little bit of inside the actor's studio or inside baseball with this. But the Socialite playbook is a mixture between Saltburn, Purple Noon, or The Talented Mr. Ripley, and Fancy, the song by Reba McEntire. And that first mask is just Fancy by Reba McEntire. But like when you don't put Reba McEntire singing it, it's like an upbeat, like kind of like powerful song. But when you're just reciting it or hearing somebody recite something that's a close approximation to that, but it's their own unique story, then you're like, wow, this is really, really terribly sad. And I feel really bad for this person. And I understand why you're in the position that you're in. And that was like and you really nailed that. That was like that had to be the first Mask of the Past, because I really wanted to send that home, because you have to be able to root for somebody who might be an irredeemable asshole that you're playing. And so like and you nailed it perfectly. And it makes me interested in Charlie and want to know more about Charlie. And then star to Amanda. Ooh, keeping that night phase pace going. Oh, look at that. Just great stuff popping off. Also, excellent choice of the USS Thresher. I don't know if you're going to have the USS Thresher in your game. Those are just unseens that I wrote. I wrote a handful of them for my playtesting, because like we're going to be reaching out to other writers to write those, which is good, because I want variety. I want spice. I don't want it to all be just me. But yeah, I love the Thresher. I love that as like that's like a real thing that happened in Maine. They were just doing a normal test dive, and a nuclear submarine just imploded mysteriously. Nobody knows why. Nobody knows anything. It was just a routine test. They were just supposed to go down to 1,000 feet, which is nominal for submarines, and it just imploded randomly. And so I was like, oh, put a little bit of spin on that, and it's a great little moment, and gave us a lot of moments to tee up what might have been coming next, or a little bit about our stuff. So yeah, that's me. Wish. Dang. Susan, come here quick. We're a mess. All right.
Yeah.
We need a
Susan, this man's
chaperone.
trying to kill me. Susan,
Yeah.
Elga.
With friendship.
I need an Elga. I need an Elga vulnerable move.
Mm.
I have to sing for you still.
Position heal thyself, and thy remedy is Elga. So yeah, that's me. Thank y'all. Great game. Great session.
Yeah, good
Always a
session.
fun time.
I
Well, I
guess
can go next, I suppose.
go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yay. Thank you. Stars, of course, for all three of these players. This was a really fast pace. Like, I know that the night phase was a little longer than normal night phases, but it still felt fast paced because your decisions were so quick and on point. Everything was just action packed. It felt fast. And I really want to thank you all for that. I know that we didn't get a lot done specifically, I suppose, but we answered a question. We answered two questions, resolved a threat. Nobody died. The masks were killer. Those masks were crazy. Percy, huge stars for making everything absolutely devastating, and also bringing in the humor when the humor is needed and breaking the tension when it needs to get broken a little bit. You have an uncanny ability to do that. That is really, really impressive while staying on point and on theme. So really, really big stars. Kim, the Sally No Face, I know that you made the reference to Clary Yarborough already,
Yeah.
but pulling in Sally No Face as a whole thing, for those that don't know, Sally No Face is a threat in the Between standard, and it's like one of my favorite, probably my favorite. And pulling that in the way that you did, that was absolutely devastating. Just really, really wonderful, wonderful use of Brindleverse stuff. And it just goes to show, because you are, I mean, aside from Jason Cordova, you are like the master of the Between. You've got it. You've got that thing in your brain. So
That's
I
a
shouldn't
very
have been
flattering
surprised.
comparison. Thank you.
But listen to Kitten Marlowe, and you will understand what I. Just absolutely incredible there.
Thank you.
Wes, this game is heart wrenching. It is breaking my heart. It is so very good. And the way you're playing Carter, he is so weird and skeezy and shouldn't really be likable, but I am rooting for him. I'm rooting for all of these characters. Don't get me wrong. Not just from a cheer for your characters in your game. I'm rooting for you all, but if you have to go, you're going to go spectacularly, and I know that for sure. But Carter, the whole scene where you were like a little greasy rat squeezing through it was just a short little moment, but it really painted a picture of who Carter is. And like Kim said, we love a Rat King. So
God, I do.
stars tonight for chat. The clues were disgusting and wonderful and creepy and weird. Really, really hard choice for Wes to make. So wonderful, wonderful work there, chat. And for cheering everything on. Stars for Susan, who is now listening to the Stars and Wishes. Susan, we miss you. We can't wait to have you back. Yeah, I guess my wish is I am excited for, we have a bunch of conditions right now, and I'm excited for some real solid vulnerable moves heading into this last day and night phase, because things are going to get real tense, because you have 2 threats and a mastermind.
What?
Scared. So scared. Yeah, no, I'm gonna do a cliche here and stars everyone. What a phenomenal cast. I miss you, Susan. Why did you leave me, Susan? Come back to me, Susan. But yeah, Amanda, you have made this game so fun. And again, it's a lot harder because of the time constraints we're under. 5 is not enough, but you're making it work, and I'm having a blast. I think everyone else here is having a blast. I don't like to speak for other people, but I get the vibes. Kim, master of this game, master of all games like it and stuff like that. I never have to worry about you finding a way to add to whatever situation you get put into, and I love watching it. I adore that. I love how quick your mind is, and yet how you're also able to push everything forward. Wes, you are insane, and stars for that. I absolutely adore this game that you made. The fact that you were like, I want to reach out to other people and get more spice added to my game. I was like, dog, you did this. This is awesome. This is so good. Anything that I create right now, which I'm ignore my screwdriver, I'm fidgeting, I have to. But everything that I create right now is because of you. You gave me the avenue to create right now, and I appreciate that. It's such a well put together game, incredible playbooks and the like. Wishes, not to die, but you know, some of us we all catch a case of the dead. It happens.
You gotta die
No,
sometime.
we all gotta die sometime, you know. But no, I want to solve these goddamn mysteries. I want to meet this mastermind. I want to take him down. That's my wish. I wish for us to all have a fantastic final episode together.
Stars for the table. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Stars for Wes for like right out the gate doing like a really killer Mask of the Past. That was like super well done. And also just like I just love Carter. My character hasn't gotten a lot of time to interact with Carter, but you being in the pipe and then 2 people simultaneously switching to bad fake accents was very funny to me.
I've never seen, respectfully, I've never seen 2 white people code switch before. It was incredible. It was beautiful.
It doesn't happen often, but when it does,
Yeah.
oh boy,
I
hold
was
on.
awesome.
It was very funny, and that sort of leads into like a wish for like next session. I'm very interested for whatever this conversation is going to be, where like maybe one or both of those masks slip a bit, depending on what happens. I think that will be very interesting. Percy, you break my heart all the time, and I love you so much. And most troubling, Charlie is really loving Pierce a lot. And that feels like a tragic situation to be in. Even if we're even just due to who they are and what they're doing in life and what they have done. And then if you factor in the notion that one of that pair is gradually losing every piece of what makes them that person, that's awful. really bad, and I can't wait to see what happens because I love pain. Amanda, great job running a night phase. The captain was super spooky. I also loved that Stoker who gave me a present. That was actually kind of nice. And I liked Charlie like connecting with the mastermind. I'm not losing that condition for anything. So I suppose that's my wish is I want to see the ramifications of being marked by flag in this final chapter of Unsinkable. My other wishes, I would love slash hate for Dr. Pierce to meet Timu Charlie, to meet the doppelganger Charlie and see what transpires from that. And also more Pierce and Charlie because I love pain. I want Charlie to get hurt and to get a front row seat to the Strand and what's happening there. That's also a wish of mine.
Wow.
I think
What a-
that's
what- what a-
everybody.
What a group of fucked up individuals.
Yeah.
We all love pain.
Yeah.
You out there
Just a-
too. All of you.
It's
like,
true. We're talking to you,
You
chat.
watch this.
You're a bunch of weirdos, and
Yeah.
we love it. Well, I think with that, I know it's a little bit early, but I think we can go around the table again and say who we are, where you can find us, what if you want to support things that we're doing. I am Amanda. I am a T-Rex online a lot. You can find all of my stuff at IamATrex.com. Otherwise, I'm kind of just around on the Crit Show Discord or the Gauntlet Discord or springsandkindling.com or just, kicking around in the Gauntlet spaces. Yeah, that's me. Let's go to Percy.
Yeah, I am Percy Davis. Once again, former professional wrestler, current professional wrestling commentator for Naptown All Pro. Check out Naptown All Pro on Twitter, on Blue Sky, on Instagram, on YouTube, IWTV. I think, yeah, we have a lot of stuff. But yeah, quality folks working towards a quality cause and everything like that. You can find me at Big Purse Universe. I'm usually screaming into the void about wrestling or showing off gym selfies because, got body dysmorphia. I got to show it off and tell myself, you're doing a good job. Stop. But no, that's me. And I'm just so happy to be here with all y'all.
Hi, my name's Wes Franks. My pronouns are they, them. You can find me at carrion-comfort.com on Blue Sky. That's also my website. It's so convenient.
I know.
Not everything on my website's up to date, but I got all my credits updated and everything like that. So if you want to see all the other actual plays that I've done in the past, or interviews, or panels, or other stuff, or other games that I've worked on, or anything like that, go ahead and check that out. If you want to hire me for consultation on actual play or consultation on game design, or if you would like for me to do production for your actual play, or if you would like for me to work on your project and write for your game so I can make it sad too, look, I understand. Not everybody's sad. And sometimes you really need to bring a sad person in to really and I'm talking sad, I'm talking like Tom York's like crying in the background of like some Radiohead songs. That's how sad I can get sometimes. Just read this game when it comes out and you'll just be like, "Oh wow, I hope Wes is okay." And I can be okay if you hire me. So that is
That's
a
a
long
sell. That's a good sell.
a way to come
Might
around.
I
and hire
add,
me.
you can also you can hire Wes to run games for you on Start Playing.
Woo, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just
I
look up Wes
actually,
Franks.
yeah, I've got games. I've got a Silt versus game. It's like a Tuesday afternoon game that's like
This is gonna be
sitting
so
that I
dark.
just need one more person to run. I want to play like 3-person Silt versus, and it's like $20 a seat. And I want to do X-Files, but in the Silt versus. So if you want to do like your own little Mulder and Scullying, and you got like a Tuesday afternoon, so come hit me up. And there'll be other games up there too. I got a bunch of weird ideas, so hit me up. That's me.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kim Dalton, pronoun she, her. Episode 4 of Kitten Marlowe's Shadows in the Smoke is dropping at midnight my time. So go check it out. We're doing our first night phase, which features two masks of the past feature our very first masks ever in Shadows in the Smoke. We've got two masks coming at you. We've got transformations done by whom, you'll find out. We have cult sacrifices. We have a sex scene. We have a lot going on in our night phase, so check it out. That's at Kitten Marlowe wherever you get your podcasts. Just listen, if you listen to it, please let me know, or like leave a review, or like rate the thing on wherever you want to do. That always feels cliche to ask, but like it really does make a difference, so I'd appreciate it if you did it. And I think that's it for us. Thank you all so much for listening to episode 4 of Unsinkable, and we will see you all here next Monday for our final episode. Regardless, our Unsinkable journey is ending one way or another next week. Hopefully
saying
well, but hopefully
Our
not.
ship is sinking
Our
no
ship-
matter what?
Yeah, the ship. Nothing can sink this ship. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you all next week.
I can sink it. Bye.